Welcome to high school basketball at the City of Palms Classic on League Ready. We're live at Florida Southwestern State College in beautiful Fort Myers for a massive showdown. Number 1 IMG, number 3 Columbus, two of the best teams featuring a ton of the best players in the nation. Sam, Chris, happy holidays. Nightcap is going to be an absolute dandy.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. Again, the cream of the crop for high school basketball players on a Saturday night in one area like this. It doesn't get any better, and certainly everyone that's going to be watching this game is going to come to see what the Boozer brothers can do.
Yeah, the Boozer brothers for Columbus, Darius Acuff and company for IMG, which stormed back last night in a come-from-behind win against La Lumiere to book their seat in the semis. The winner gets Montverde on Championship Monday, and here, clad in red, are the Explorers of Columbus. It starts and ends with Boozer and Boozer.
I mean, you've got 6'10", you've got 6'5", but then you have other guys like Gaskins and Jackson who are no slouches either, all with high major offers themselves. And so I think Coach Moran, literally sometimes having that much talent can be hard to coach. If you get the guys playing together for the same purpose, the same goal, and like winning this championship is really a feather in your cap that all of them won.
Neither of them have ever won a City of Palms Classic. And IMG almost bowed out yesterday. They were down 64-49 at the end of 3, came back and won thanks to Darius Acuff.
I mean, Darius Acuff, the Arkansas commit. You've got Sadiq White going to Syracuse, and then you've got other players, 3 other guys that are easily in the top 100. This is a well-balanced team. They're well-coached as well, too. But you have to establish the inside part of the game first with a game of this type of talent, Sam, which means rebounding, getting to the rim, and getting to the foul line.
Acuff bound for Arkansas. He'll play for John Calipari next year. And last night, electric. 33 points, 6 three-pointers. He led a 29-11 run in the fourth quarter to book a seat in the semis.
I mean, he really is a throwback player to kind of like a 90s guard that could shoot really well. He reminds me a lot of Stephon Marbury with how strong and physical he is, with the ability to shoot the 3, but then he can get to the rim and finish with violence, playing through contact and getting to the line.
I should have worn my Starberry shoes to the game. Had a few of those. Cam Boozer, the number 2 player in the class, he's off to Duke along with his twin brother, Caden. And in case you're uninitiated, yes, they are the sons of 13-year NBA vet, 2-time All-Star, and Olympic gold medalist, Carlos Boozer. He's sitting courtside. I'm sure we'll see him in his impressive, thick, black beard in a moment.
I wasn't going to be the one to bring up. I think I see him down there in the plaid shirt.
Yep.
But, you know, again, this team, they play so well together. They have a lot of talent. And a lot of times when you have two teams that are this loaded, Sam, it just comes down to who executes and makes shots. It's very simple.
Columbus last night just mauled their opposition, taking on the Georgia State champion, Grayson High School. They trounced them, 85-48. So IMG fresh off a squeaker and Columbus off a rout for a spot against Montverde in the City of Palms finals. Here we go.
Yeah, let's see what type of movement we get. Nice set play here in back screen. Good play call that time and executed well. Where's the help side defense from IMG?
Just too easy as Caleb Gaskins had to finish.
Coach McAloon not going to be happy with that one. Blind back screen and no help.
Sean McAloon, 7th-year lead man for IMG, watching Quinones get blocked. Caden Boozer with the rejection. Gaskins to Jackson, Cello Jackson, a very recent transfer to Columbus. He was marvelous last night, and that spin move ends with a miss.
We're going to see a lot of physicality in this game. We'll see what the officials do in terms of calling it.
Jackson Richardson, coast to coast.
Well, we talked in the first game that, the aggressors are going to get the calls, and right now Columbus just hands in passing lanes, up on defense, up the line, playing really aggressive and setting a good tone.
They forced 16 turnovers in the win over Grayson yesterday. Here's Acuff. A 3-ball for Acuff, just misses.
That's not the shot that Coach McAloon's going to want this early in the game.
Boozer rumbling in, and he got fouled. This is the kind of start Columbus had yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit of a delayed whistle there, but, Boozers, the Boozer twins, they don't avoid contact at all. That's the one thing I really like about them. Both of them almost seek it out and play through it. And that's a trait that you don't see in a lot of players, especially high school seniors going to be freshmen in the ACC.
And the amount of winning that Cam and Caden Boozer have under their belts. 3 Florida State titles, 3 Nike Peach Jam titles, gold medal with Team USA at the Under-17 World Cup. I mean, they've just won and won and won. And next year they'll look to do it at Duke.
I'll say it before, and is that winning is a talent, and it's one that you can develop. And there's just no coincidence in how much they've won. It's not just pure talent. It's actually knowing how to win.
Tipped out of bounds off of Gaskins. But they say the best ability is availability. You say it's winning.
Learning to win, knowing how to win. That is the type of player I'll take on my team any day.
Up top, here's Acuff. Fresh off the comeback. Kick out. Sadiq White in and out on a 3. And here come the number 3 ranked Columbus Explorers. 3-ball for Jackson off the front end.
Both teams just trying to settle in right now, find their footing, what's going to work for them. IMG not really doing much in terms of offensive execution.
Syracuse bound White out to Cody Peck, and he hits the first triple.
Well, that was the second wide open 3 on the wing for IMG. Peck knocks that one down, but right now Columbus with a lot of missed opportunities on the defensive end where they're leaving individuals wide open.
Caden Boozer gets a screen from his twin. There's Cam now. The drive and a foul goes against Sadiq White.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have called that one on Sadiq that time. I mean, you want to allow for a little bit of physicality. That was 12 feet away from the rim. Let these guys play a little bit and play through physicality.
Gaskins in the corner.
We're seeing both teams, again, like we said, settling on offense. And Columbus really spacing the floor nicely.
Gaskins to Richardson, alley-oop.
Yeah, that's what happens if you have deep, wide spacing like they have, and you attack off of penetration, and again, you saw help up, which is never a good move.
Jackson Richardson, serious hops, takes after pops. Jason Richardson, former Golden State Warrior stud, and Caden Boozer off the glass.
Yeah, good, strong finish again through contact. These kids, the Boozer twins, really look to initiate contact.
And Columbus hoping to make a statement tonight. Taking on number 1 ranked IMG. Acuff fouled, and Acuff free throws are coming. Well, his dad's a 2-time slam dunk contest champion, so you know Jackson Richardson can fly.
Well, his dad in the Michigan State national championship team in 2000 also finished my college playing career as we lost to them in 2000. And you talk about a loaded team, and Jason Richardson, my word, the very first play of the game, they get the tip, run an alley-oop dunk to him, and we knew it was all over with, Sammy.
So you've seen those Richardson hops.
Oh, my gosh, yeah, I don't like seeing that.
Oh, man, hate to.
Memories.
I'm sorry, hate to bring that back.
It's all right. Son's a tough player. It's good to see.
Boozer, awkward pass to Acuff. And Acuff to the can for 2.
Yeah, again, I can't just say how much he reminds me of Marbury, and he needs to get more opportunities like that off the break to get this team going.
Now Cam Boozer through some contact.
That might be the second foul on Sadiq White there. Yeah.
It is. Sean McAloon, the 7th-year head coach for IMG. The national power. A disappointing finish to last year, though. Bowed out in the quarterfinals in the Chipotle Nationals. They haven't won the whole thing since 2019. And there's a 3 for Caleb Gaskins.
Well, that's a tough shot, especially a guy of his size and length.
A 5-star recruit. Number 9 ranked junior in the country. Acuff plunging in. And Darius Acuff putting on a show.
Yeah, right now, that's the only thing IMG has going offensively. Just create more opportunities for him to get to the rim.
And here goes White. Sadiq White, coast to coast.
Well, Sadiq staying in the game with 2 fouls.
And then give it up to Gaskins again. Track meet has begun.
Or, I'm sorry, Sadiq only has 1 foul. I thought he had 2 fouls there, but again, out in the open floor, him and Acuff, a really tough combination to deal with.
There's Acuff to White.
But this is what they're doing right now. This is just not offense, especially against a team of Columbus's defensive capabilities. You can't just space out, play open gym ball, hope to just go ISO and finish. That's not going to win any championships.
Yeah, Columbus has played 2 games in this tournament, and they've yet to give up 50. Coach Andrew Moran's team allowing 39 against Gray Crossing, 48 against Grayson. So far, IMG just 10 points. Nice little start for Gaskins. He's got it up top. Gaskins prodding. Now Boozer. Down low for Jackson. Just slow, methodical offense here with 3. Boozer the fall away. Air ball and shot clock expires.
Yeah, that shot by Boozer didn't hit the rim, and you know, that a defensive stop like that for IMG certainly has to give them a little bit of momentum, and to hopefully Coach McAloon give him a little bit of confidence. If I'm him, I'm coming down and I'm running nothing but sets, particularly like we're talking about those open side wing ball screens, and just let Acuff operate off of those and create for everybody else.
Acuff to Peck. Corner 3, his second.
I mean, that's just easy basketball with that spacing and that type of shooting with Peck. That's hard to defend.
Cody Peck, 4-star recruit out of Matthews, North Carolina. And now Caden Boozer, teardrop off. IMG chance to tie late in the first. In the corner, 3-ball sinks. Jamal Jones with his first bucket.
Well, IMG, nice comeback offensively here, which has been built up by Acuff, just getting a couple easy baskets off a transition and giving this team a little bit of momentum. Sometimes even seeing a teammate get the ball through the rim and through the net helps your confidence as well.
And then a Boozer triple. That's Cam for 3.
Wow, well, that's a tough shot.
Boozer and Boozer both off to Duke, just like Pops. And Stagg, a miss. Here goes Caden, off to Cam. Caden a 3 now, and this time rebound to Beamer. Acuff, a triple. Little strong, hasn't had it from beyond the arc after an electric night yesterday.
Yeah, it looks like Columbus is going to pull this one out, run a set. If we're up to me, I mean, you have your biggest guy on the floor running the point for this. They're probably just going to space out and let him create. If it was me, I'd try to get something for him on the block.
6'8", Cameron Boozer goes to work. To his brother, Caden. Nice feed, Richardson. Gaskins missed the 3. And we go to the quarter break. What kind of slow, sloppy, choppy start, whatever. Number 3, number 1. The best is yet to come. Columbus and IMG for a spot in the title game. The City of Palms Classic, we're in the semis. So Montverde with a come-from-behind win over Oak Ridge. They are in the championship. And Montverde's opponent, to be determined. We got Columbus and IMG, number 3 and number 1. And Chris Barks, so far a little choppy, but it's been a lot of Cam Boozer for Columbus.
Well, yeah, I mean, these teams are definitely a little bit more settled in than the first game we had, but nevertheless, I mean, you just have a lot of talent going back and forth, and I think more than anything what we've seen, when either of these teams gets away from team ball and they just try and do the ISO one-on-one, it really stagnates what they're doing on offense, which creates apathy on defense, Sammy. And so when whatever team has some sort of purpose or functionality on one of the ends, it helps the other out. And, you know, they're still high school kids. Yeah, they're elite level. They're very talented. But that's a coach's job, is to keep them motivated and purposeful in what they're doing.
We know Columbus likes to share the sugar. 16 assists last night in a dominant win over Grayson. And here we are for a spot in the title game. White, double team. They are swarming him. And finally, foul is called on Cello Jackson. Well, Sadiq White, so much of the talk with IMG focuses on Acuff, but White is a physical beast. Bound for Syracuse, he has a standing reach of 8'11". Are you kidding me?
Well, you know, people will see that and marvel and think, oh, he can block shots, he can dunk, but length at the highest level is what pros look for. When I was coaching pro overseas, that was the number one thing at any player that I signed, was length at any position. It just makes a difference.
There he used all the length to carry. And a turnover.
Guys like him, I mean, he's kind of George Gervin-esque, right? With that, how smooth he plays, the way he can use that length. He uses it within purpose. He doesn't try to do anything crazy except when he throws the ball away like that. Really a fun player to watch. And I think he's going to be very successful up there at Syracuse. I think he fits into their system well.
Off to the great Northeast. Man, you're a comparison machine. I've got Stephon Marbury, George Gervin, Jalen Brunson tonight.
I mean, even just, you know, his mannerisms, kind of the way he walks.
All over it. A corner shot miss for Gaskins. We got to get you to comp everyone. Stagg to Beamer. An electric fourth quarter for Beamer yesterday. Really aided that IMG comeback, as his teardrop is a bit strong. Here's Boozer weaving around, and an air ball. Caden hasn't had it so far. And in transition, breakaway slam. Jamal Jones.
Well, easy basket right there. And IMG needed to pick that one up to get a little bit of momentum.
So all tied through 10 minutes. Boozer to Boozer. Open for a three, and he can't nail it.
Well, that's just what good spacing creates. I mean, Boozer probably wants to make sure he knocks that one down on a consistent basis, but we see previous play, Columbus not leaving anybody back on defense, not talking, which makes an easy basket. And in a game that's this tight, Sammy, like, you know, 2 points, play like that can make a big difference at the end of the game.
Jamal Jones with the finish. He hit a big layup late in the game yesterday to give IMG the lead as they stormed back to take down La Lumiere. 18 all. Boozer, the 3 falls.
You know, I mean, I know his dad is Carlos Boozer, but he shoots like Shane Battier. You know, his form, very mechanical, kind of the release from the eye there, very structured shot. And for a guy his size, that's a big weapon.
And Stagg responds right away. Kareem Stagg is a great player for IMG.
Again, we talk about the spacing. This kind of just like almost high 2-3. It's very difficult to defend.
A miss. And here goes Trey Beamer. Jones. Beamer. He stepped out, and we'll turn it over to Columbus. Well, we've seen the 3-point shot on display tonight for Cam Boozer. You mentioned Father Carlos. Only one 3-pointer in his NBA career. 13 seasons. He was 1 for 14 from downtown.
Yeah, wasn't pretty.
The 1-3 was in his second season in Cleveland, 2003. So he went from 03 to 2015 without a 3. Got to stick to what you're good at. A bounce feed. Jackson throws it off a foot. We'll stay with Columbus.
And again, you know, this is kind of a unique type of spacing compared to what everybody else does that Columbus does, where everybody else is kind of like 4 out, 1 in, spaced, you know, equidistant around the perimeter. Columbus does kind of like a 3 low, 2 high. I like it. It's a different look.
The spice of life. Switch it up a bit. We can get a little redundant sometimes as Jackson can't hit the teardrop board to Gaskins, and then a 3-point miss.
Tell you what, Gaskins, even though he didn't knock that one down, he's got a lot of versatility for his size.
Alley-oop to Sadiq White. Timeout. Columbus.
Well, Acuff and White, what a combination they have at IMG. Be able to get a rebound in his vision, his head up the entire time, which most kids don't do these days, and really not much of a defensive awareness in transition by Columbus that time. And when you have a guy like Acuff, he can just create so much for other people, not only from the standpoint of, you know, when his ability to not only finish but create for others makes the defense focus and worry about him the whole time. You know, he has gravity, what I would like to call gravity, for the defense. So no matter where you are, who you're defending, you're looking to see where he is.
And Sadiq White can defy gravity.
Tell you what, yeah, with that length, there's a lot you can do.
Darius Acuff, lauding him. He's off to Arkansas. He'll play SEC basketball next year. But I watched the SEC this year. It's one of the best conferences ever by some of the numbers. How do you think a guy like Acuff will do?
Well, I mean, it's what type of system do you fit in? You know,
Yeah.
He's going to go into John Calipari's system, and he's going to be loaded with other talent around him. So when he creates all this, he's going to have people finishing, which will, you know, keep somewhat of the gravity off of him. So he's going to the right place.
What a follow for Jackson Richardson.
Yeah, big time. Using those hops.
And then a hop on the other end. Jones just saving it. The best athletes in the country on display tonight. Semifinal at the City of Palms. Acuff. Quinones, a 3-ball.
Nice little penetration and awareness by Quinones to drop down to find the open spot in the corner. You know, defense turned his head, and he lost him there that time. That's a lack of defensive discipline.
And now Cam Boozer responds with a miss. Offensive board swatted away by Jones. Called for a foul, though.
Yeah, I think he got the foul on the first one going up. But, you know, transition and athleticism are a big part of the game. And we see here Boozer with the drive and can't do it, and Richardson just cleans it up. I mean, you can get, as any type of player at any level, 8 to 12 points a game, Sam, just by being aggressive and having that nose for the ball and finishing missed baskets like that.
Cello Jackson with the free throw miss. Yeah, and for Jackson Richardson, I mean, he's just everywhere. Just a junior, 28th ranked player in his class. Not only the son of Jason Richardson, but also younger brother of Jace Richardson, who looks like a lottery pick through a couple of months at Michigan State. Couple misses there could prove costly for Jackson.
Jace Richardson, next level. I've seen that kid, I forget where, play a number of times, but you talk about somebody that just has it.
Beamer, White, the slam.
Well, we talk about one of the cardinal sins of baseline defense, and that's helping up. That time, nothing but helping up and leaving that baseline wide open for the dunk.
Jackson down to Boozer. Little baseline drive and slam.
You know, he just kind of has a poise about him. You know, you can tell he really gets that from his dad, where he just never plays rushed. He seems to be always aware of what he's doing, and more importantly, why he's doing it.
Just this moxie, right? Like he knows.
Yep.
Knows what to do. White, the kick out, ends with Beamer, and he misses the three. Out of bounds to Columbus. Well, Sadiq White has a 7-foot wingspan, almost a 9-foot standing reach. His latest work of art.
Yeah, that time we talk about Boozer slid over, no awareness. I don't know why he's throwing his hands up. He should have been aware that White was on his backside there and maintained that presence.
Well, Boozer makes up for it. Little slither move.
That's hard to guard. And, you know, so adept. I mean, he's probably done a million Mikan drills under there. Just a nice little opposite side flip with the right hand. Get a lot of points and make a lot of money in the future just being able to knock down that type of shot.
Going to Duke next year. The money making can start. Quinones in the corner left it. Boozer can run the point off to his brother. And an offensive foul against Gaskins. Quinones draws the charge.
Yeah, good awareness. He got his feet set, shoulders square, hips square that time. And, you know, we saw that play started off, Sam, with the Boozer brothers setting the ball screen. And one thing that, you know, good guards do, which we didn't see that play, but we see Acuff do a lot, is create immediate separation off of a ball screen. Sometimes guys will come off and they have the, you know, the trait of where they will just kind of do a little skip hop or relax the ball. The guys that create immediate separation off that one are the best point guards.
A little miscommunication. Acuff wanted the alley-oop. Peck didn't really see it. Andrew Moran, sixth-year head coach, has led his team to 3 consecutive Florida State titles.
Yeah, both these teams, you know, really well coached. These kids playing the game the right way, learning the fundamentals, learning to play the team game, and playing it with other talent as well, which can be a toughest part of coaching, is to meld all that talent together.
Stagg, Peck, Beamer now, the cross. Beamer drops it in.
Yeah, really nice finish. Nice awareness by Peck, too, to create some spacing after he dropped the ball off there.
And Peck's made some nice plays tonight. Comes from a coaching dynasty as Stagg swipes it. Acuff shimmying in. Acuff drew the foul.
Boy, I just like this kid a lot. You know, a lot of times someone that has as much talent as Acuff, they're kind of one or the other. They're somebody that can create for others, but they can't finish or score themselves, or vice versa. You know, and Acuff has that. You know, you can tell he's a guy that probably, when he was really young, you know, either his parents were really involved in his coaching or he had a really good youth coach that sets that tone early and creates that type of awareness for him. You know, I think he's going to do a lot of good at Arkansas. And, you know, he can be effective and help a team like Arkansas win, or IMG this year. He doesn't have to score a lot. Again, he just has a lot of gravity to where the defense is always aware of where he is, and he's really adept at finding those seams and those opportunities for others.
You mentioned winning. He led Cass Tech High School in Detroit to their first state title as a sophomore. Richardson the miss, and chases down the rebound. Foul goes against Jones.
Yeah, absolutely. There he was. I think we're lucky that we didn't get some elbows swinging on that play, because that one could have been a little rough. But nice awareness and good call by the officials.
It's been a really well officiated tournament, start to finish. Got to give credit. The men in stripes, they've got long days and a lot of high-flying action.
Yeah, they have. They've done a good job. And, this far into the season and in this tournament as well, you have a little bit of the edge off from these guys playing so many games back-to-back.
Boozer off the hesitation, left it. And Acuff triggering the offense. IMG just a little bit better than Columbus so far. Maybe the last ascender possession of the half. Acuff on Boozer. Next year, Arkansas against Duke. Around to Beamer. Outside, Pekka 3. Not there. Rebound. Over to Richardson. With a second left, Richardson. An air ball. And we go to halftime. So IMG, by a few, the #1 team in the country, is 16 minutes away from a spot in the City of Palms championship game. We'll have the second half for you when we come back. Ready for half two. IMG and Columbus for a spot in the City of Palms championship game Monday night. The Montverde Eagles await the winner of this one, and so far, IMG by 4. There have been moments for Columbus, moments for IMG, and Darius Acuff has been a part of most of them.
Yeah, I mean, big fan of Acuff here. 7 points, 4 assists as we see there. And not only that, I mean, he's created other opportunities for the rest of his teammates by accelerating the fast break action, by driving baseline and almost getting a hockey assist. And he's the type of guy where I don't think that at this point Columbus has demonstrated anyone that can guard him, Sammy, on a one-to-one basis. If, you know, I would go to more plays to maybe try and isolate him with a high ball screen with Peck or, you know, something like that, just to give him opportunities to create off the dribble, because right now Columbus can't stop him.
It's been a really balanced attack, too, for IMG. You have Acuff with 7, White with 6, Peck with 6. Meanwhile, for Columbus, it's been a lot of Cam Boozer. 12 points for the Duke-bound power forward.
Yeah, and I think there's more to come for him. I mean, he trying to navigate stuff and almost be kind of like a point forward. Mm-hmm. I see the point in that, but, you know, he basically hasn't been stopped when he gets the ball in the paint. So I would create more opportunities for him. We'll see what type of set they run right here.
Here we go, second half, 16 minutes to determine our second finalist. Winner takes on Montverde. Boozer right to that low block, and he is mauled. A foul on Peck.
Yeah, perfect call. Get him an ISO position, and, you know, had 3 guys coming at him, and he still had the presence of mind to play up it again through contact. I mean, just very, very mature for his age, and I think he's going to have a pretty successful run in Durham.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you know, once you get up there to that level and what he'll be surrounded with, I mean, he's got a heck of a team now, obviously, but the amount of things you can do with a guy like him when he's surrounded by other players like him expands exponentially. Like, he can do pick and pops. He can come off ball screens. The more spacing that he'll have to be able to create one-on-one, create mismatches, Coach Shire's going to have a lot of fun with him on his squad.
Oh, yeah, and you get 2 boozers for the price of 2 boozers. I bet he wishes it was for the price of 1. Peck carving through, and a beautiful finish.
Yeah, it just shows a real agility around the rim, the ability to change direction.
6 points now for the nephew of Carolyn Peck, former star head coach, 99 women's basketball national champion, Purdue Boilermakers. And beautiful ball movement to Richardson.
Yeah, we got a game here, Sammy. I think this one's going to run like this till the end.
A nail-biting win for IMG back-to-back nights. Blowout wins for Columbus back-to-back nights. This one looks like the former.
Yeah, and whoever goes on to play Montverde tomorrow, it's going to be one heck of a championship game.
Around to Acuff. Nice hesitation. And 3 rolls out. Ooh.
Well, loving the super zoomed-in view right now to see the action up close. You can see how fast-paced this game is.
And Gaskins gets it swatted by White. Now Acuff off the glass. So smooth.
Yeah, I loved it. You know, a bit of a drag screen up high for him. Flat high screen. Again, that's what I'd be doing every possession with him.
Here goes Richardson. Fouled. And White the guilty party. Number 2 on Sadiq.
Yeah, he knew it. I mean, there's a lot of things these kids have to work on. I think White, his defensive awareness of where he needs to be before the ball is in his area is something he needs to work on, because he's gotten 2 fouls now just because of a lack of awareness on defense.
Boozer to Richardson, and Columbus still down 4. Screen. Cam Boozer rumbling. Nice touch pass. Richardson hits the 3.
Yeah, that's beautiful basketball. Good penetration. maintain their spacing for Columbus. A nice knockdown for Richardson.
So Explorers within 1. Number 1 ranked IMG. With Stagg missing.
Yeah, a little bit of contact out there that he had to play through.
Now Boozer goes coast to coast, and Columbus takes the lead.
Well, you know, Caden Boozer needed to get going. He was 1 for 6 in the first half with 4 rebounds, and he played heavy minutes. He's got to contribute something else to this team to help them out with going against Acuff. You got to help balance out that imbalance created by Acuff being so proficient.
Peck to White. He spins, drives, and just misses. Boozer in transition, the lob, and Gaskins, the flush.
Yeah, easy basketball, nice lob pass, good finish.
Caleb Gaskins, a springy player, now with 9. Columbus was down 4 at half. Now a 3-point lead. Peck triggers a 3. Bang! Timeout, IMG. And Cody Peck having himself a night.
I mean, created by Stagg. I mean, he just, the awareness, as soon as he touched that ball, he flicked it right back to him for the wide open 3. That is a almost pro-level play to have that awareness and that much acuity to get it right back to him.
And Columbus, before that, came out of halftime high flying.
Yeah, transition basketball is easy basketball, and we see nice lob, way to run the floor. IMG's got to get back on defense and put some pressure on the ball, protect that rim.
Caleb Gaskins, the number 1 player in Florida in the junior class. He'll assume the mantle next year, but first, a really important 12 minutes to come. As IMG regroups, tie ball game, number 3, number 1. It's living up to the billing so far.
It's just been great basketball. Again, you know, when you go to what I would call a normal high school game, which this is not.
Oh, you're saying this ain't normal?
Yeah, this is next level stuff. So there's usually 1 or 2 players that can shoot, or a decent basketball player, or they actually pick the ball up outside of basketball season. And then you come to something like this where not only is every player good and has ability to play the game well, these guys are playing on another level. And this is basically like winter AAU ball in terms of like this is just an all-star team.
The level is ridiculous. IMG is the number 1 ranked high school team in the country. Columbus is number 3. They've won the state of Florida 3 straight years. And if they win a 4th, they're the first to do it since 2000.
And again, we talked about the level of talent that's down there in Florida. Just a lot of high-level athletes. And a lot of good coaches, too. A lot of good coaches have came out of the state of Florida.
Here's Richardson slicing, dicing, and finishing.
He's just really very similar to his dad, right, the way he plays. I mean, he is a slasher. You know, even though he created that off the dribble, you know, his game is using his speed and athleticism and then ability to change directions.
A whistle in the paint. And a foul goes against Columbus's Cello Jackson. Here's your slasher.
Yeah, bad closeout that time by Peck and just nice up and under finish.
And Jackson Richardson with 13. He and Cam Boozer have combined for 27 of Columbus's 40. Nearly picked it away. Stagg adjusts, and he traveled.
Well, I mean, neck and neck. You know, nobody's been able to get any separation in terms of score or anything, you know. And that's what makes these games so great. I mean, a lot of times they can just be so one-sided, but both past 2 games, really, really good basketball to watch.
6 lead changes, 3 ties tonight. And here's Cello Jackson. Beautiful spin, and then blocked by Peck.
I mean, Cello, he does so good getting to the rim, but he's struggling finishing. He's a bit of a whirling dervish out there. needs to learn. You don't want to tell a guy like that to calm down, but you just need to work on him finishing because he has no trouble getting to the rim.
Here goes Caden Boozer through 2 men.
Nice play. Good to see him finish like that. Again, I think if Columbus wants to get some more separation score, they need to see more from Caden Boozer on the offensive end. If not creating for himself, creating for someone else.
Acuff, the teardrop.
Love this kid. Love this kid. Out of Cass Tech. Played with a guy named Aaron Thomason from out of there when I was playing at Valpo, and really good program in Detroit.
A 3 splashes for Richardson.
You know, guys like Richardson, again, like if he just sees the ball go through the net once or twice.
Acuff from way deep now.
Yeah, so if I'm Caden Boozer, why is he not guarding Acuff? You know, why is the Duke signee not saying, hey, let me go lock this guy down?
There goes Jackson. Back to Richardson. And not this time.
Yeah, I mean, what you see, just Boozer that time just pointed for somebody else to guard him. Like, you're supposed to be the main cog on this team for the point guard spot.
Well, it's his 6'8" twin guarding him. As Peck misses, Boozer boards. Back to the other Boozer. Caden swirls through, and a foul against IMG.
Yeah, really good finish. Way to draw the foul that time. But, you know, just going back, like if I'm a coach, and I haven't seen Boozer play every single game this year, or I don't know how he is normally, but, you know, at a point like this, I would be saying to him, I want to see you go lock down Acuff. You know, he's the type of guy that in the ACC, he's not just guarding once every few games. He's going to be guarding every night. And I want to see him as a coach say, hey, I'm going to take that challenge on my shoulders. And, yeah, I may not get every win every possession, or I might even get embarrassed once or twice. But I want to see you make the effort to do it.
His pops is watching. Carlos and Cindy Boozer. Dope. That's a dope hat. And a dope beard, I gotta say it.
Yeah, it's...
Could you ever grow a beard like that?
No. There's no chance. I mean, that... You know, there's a lot of people that go to different countries to get hair implants or whatever it is that wish they had something like that. I don't even think the people that do that professionally could create something that good.
Hey, you want to go on a trip with me? I've got a great idea.
You going to go to Turkey and...
All right. Tell me when I'm live. Am I on? 90 seconds left in the third. Here's Acuff. He's had a hot few minutes. Acuff, another deep three.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, even with a 6'8" athlete in his face.
And now Caden, a mid-ranger, in and out. Board to Jamal Jones. So IMG.
Give it back to him. Yeah, give it back to him. Let him create. Yeah, here we go.
Why not feed the beast? Here he goes. Quinones, Beamer, and Beamer just left it. Here comes Boozer, Explorers in transition. Cello Jackson to Caden, and Caden kisses it.
He really torques his body well, but maintains his orientation towards the rim when he attacks and he gets in the air. I mean, it's a really good way of avoiding contact, but not avoiding a contact because he's afraid or anything, but just to get a higher percentage shot.
Acuff past the 6'8" Boozer, and a foul, and one.
Yeah, kiss with the left hand on that one too. Boy, this kid really, again, eyes up, awareness of what's going on. He loves that mismatch. You know, to him, that's a mismatch because he puts himself at that level and he says, any guy that's that much bigger than me, I'm going to use my speed and ability to finish. And what a special player.
The Arkansas-bound 5-star recruit. Now with 20.
I would, if I'm John Calipari and the firepower that he can surround Acuff with, I would just space everything out and let him go to work.
He has owned the city of Palms. 38 on Wednesday, 33 yesterday, and already 20 tonight. Richardson, the three, is there. Jackson Richardson from downtown, and Acuff just strong. So Columbus, down 4 at half, enters the fourth, up 3, thanks to this from Richardson. The final stretch when we come back, number 3, number 1 for a spot in the title game. It's Columbus by 3 in the semifinal. Winner takes on Montverde on Championship Monday. And if IMG's going to make it to Monday, they need even more from Mr. Acuff.
Well, looking at a team top to bottom in a roster, I mean, IMG is impressive with what they have, right? I mean, they've got some high-level guys, but top to bottom, I don't think they're the most talented team. But when you have a guy like Acuff out there, again, he just makes everybody better. And you can see why they're the number 1 team in the country right now. It's largely because of him.
Acuff has exploded from downtown with 20 points. He leads all scorers.
Columbus going to a zone. And so you talk about a biggest tip of the cap to a player that you can get, that Columbus and Coach Moran is going to a zone because they can't find a way one-on-one to contain Acuff.
Now to Beamer for 3, and we're tied.
The level of detail he has, the way that pass was right in the shooting pocket. This kid is special.
Caden Boozer, a beautiful teardrop.
Yeah, nice, again, massive spacing by Columbus just opened that one up.
And Boozer's really opened things up in the second half.
Yeah, must have heard me talking about him or something. I wanted to see more from him.
Into the corner for Jones, weaving past Cam Boozer. Now Beamer from that elbow, and Boozer the board. Down low, trying to squeeze it to Gaskins. And then Jones goes flying, called for the block before the bucket.
I don't think the official knew what to call on that one that time. Yeah.
Weird to watch.
A little bit of a delay because he really chopped down at the ball pretty aggressively.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah, that was a little too much Denzel on that one. I mean, you have to absorb some sort of contact. Yeah.
Yeah, take a seat.
Yeah, that I appreciate and applaud the effort, but you're not going to get that one.
No. Caden Boozer, the miss. And then White really securing the rebound.
Well, here's the matchup I wanted to see. Let's see if he sticks with it.
Caden Boozer on Darius Acuff, and the alley-oop to White.
Well, that's one of the things if you go to a 2-3 zone and you've been playing man-to-man is just awareness in transition and getting to those spots. You still have to remember to guard a man, not just the zone.
54 all down the stretch. And then a little too much fanciness for Gaskins. Acuff, White again.
Jeez. Yeah, wow.
These guys are ridiculous.
I mean, running the floor is a simple thing to do. And when you have a guy that can finish with that type of length and a guy that can pass like Acuff, I mean, just all day.
This is what the kids do in NBA 2K. Up, down.
Yeah, I mean, Sadiq White runs the floor, has a great awareness, and when he goes up to finish that play, because Acuff's pass is almost leading them to where he should be, it's a really easy finish for them. They don't have to adjust their body mid-flight or anything like that.
The IMG Academy Machine. This program churns out NBA talent. 13 NBA draft picks since 05. Number 1 in the country this year. National champions as recently as 2019. And they are 608 from the championship game of the City of Palms.
Just how amazing would it be to go to school there for a year, right? You know, IMG Academy, when I used to go recruit there, just to be around the environment of everyone that they're obviously there to get an education, but to pursue the highest level possible in their athletic endeavors and just being around that mentality wherever you go. In the lunchroom, lifting weights, there's people of all different sports and all different backgrounds. They're pursuing the highest level. It's really something special.
All different nationalities, right? Flying from all over the world down to Bradenton, Florida. So Columbus now with it. Back-to-back-to-back Florida champions. Going to work. It's Boozer ripping it. Boozer and a foul.
I think that's what what Columbus has to go to more often is getting Cameron down low there like that. Again, just kind of an awareness. He came in from the backside and way to go get that one. He didn't let it come to him. I don't think there's anyone for IMG that really can contain him within 7 feet of the basket. I would just go more ISO plays and let him create and facilitate out of the post.
Boozer had 12 points in the first half. That makes it 5 in the second. And a 1-point lead. Columbus on top of IMG, approaching 5 minutes. Now Cam Boozer back on Acuff. 6'8", guarding 6'2". Kick out, Beamer. Blows by Caden and leaves it just short.
Yeah, I don't know why that wasn't called a goaltend. Looked like there was some interference.
Caden to Gaskins. And tipped in. Caden Boozer for 2.
Yeah, I think Coach definitely a little bit of a fire under Caden at halftime. He certainly showed up much better this second half, and they needed him to.
Under 5, 3-point game. Here goes Kareem Stagg. Awkward pass to White. Quinones now weaving in. No foul, out of bounds, and now a foul. Well away from the play. Looks like Caden Boozer gets whistled for it.
Well, what haven't we seen from IMG the past couple offensive possessions, Sammy?
Acuff 3?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen Acuff touching the ball at all. I mean, not facilitating. And, you know, that's a growth thing for him, too, to have the awareness of how highly effective he's being for this team on offense to where if it goes a couple possessions where he doesn't have the ball, he needs to go get it. He needs to round his troops up and say, guys, hey, give it to me. Let's set something up. Or sometimes you just need to go essentially grab it from the teammate and space everybody out.
Felipe Quinones makes it a 1-point game. Acuff has not scored in almost 5 minutes. He's on the ball now as Caden Boozer takes it up. Cam now. Backing up Stagg. The bounce into traffic. Acuff the steal. Beautiful. To Quinones. Swatted by Richardson. Columbus ball. 2-on-1. Here's Cello Jackson. And the lead's out to 5.
Well, what a set of circumstances there. Cello Jackson needed that one. He's been working hard all game, especially on the defensive end. He needed to have one go through the net.
And now IMG needs a bucket. Here's Acuff. He's found nothing in the fourth. Acuff looking to cake. Gaskins on him. Acuff. Beamer the three. It was blocked by Boozer. And running the floor for Columbus. Here's the block by Richardson.
Wow. I mean, there's just having a nose for the ball and then good awareness by Boozer to get it up to his brother and finish for Celo Jackson. That was a really simplified, fundamentally sound transition break by Columbus there that time. Very nice to watch.
A huge 4 minutes here. A razor-thin game between two top three teams. And then Boozer crashes into Acuff for the foul.
Sometimes you got to let the little guys know that if they come down, they're going to be met with some resistance. And I think Boozer that time was a little bit of one on Acuff just to say, hey, man, we're going to put you on the line here. But it's interesting. I like seeing that matchup where they're switching around and they've got Gaskins guarding Acuff. A little bit of athleticism and length has frustrated him just a little bit. He certainly wasn't getting everything as easy as he did previously.
And that was his first point of the fourth. Owned the fourth quarter yesterday. Come from behind win. And I know that frustrates you.
Yeah, well, they need him now. You know, he needs to step up. Coach Moran needs to get him some opportunities and some high percentage shot opportunities.
Jackson spinning through and one. It didn't look pretty, but it counts.
The whirling dervish. I mean, this is the guy you love to have on your team and you hate to play against. You know he's going to do a spin every time from his right back to, from his left back to his right. It's a bit out of control, but he's an athletic guy. You can tell he's a great teammate. And if a guy like Celo Jackson, who's going to be a great defender, can give you 8 to 10 points like that a game, boy, that's just going to help you win a lot.
And tonight he's got 4. Make it 5.
And let's just remember, too, I mean, he's playing against the best of the best in the country. If Celo Jackson is playing on your average high school team, he's scoring 25, 28, 30 points a game.
This ain't average. And there's Acuff with a razzle-dazzle.
Just keep feeding him.
23 for Darius. His team's still in a hole, but he's really comfortable in these spots as Caden Boozer finishes.
Well, that basket was created by Cameron. Cameron really, with the presence of mind, he saw a mismatch there. If he just did a simple little handoff exchange with his brother to create the mismatch going to the rim.
Acuff over Boozer with a splash.
And, you know, my hand's thrown up just like Cameron's that time, too. I mean, there was nothing else he could have done about that. Really tough shot.
This is Acuff territory. The final 3 minutes. Jackson to Richardson for 3. And not there.
Well, it's coming down to the wire here. Let's, again, space it out, create a mismatch like this. Just let Ronald Acuff Jr. go to work.
2 minutes left. Quinones, the 3. And board to Boozer. Quick the other way. Boozer, Richardson, alley-oop. Timeout IMG.
Well, they're so good. Columbus is so good in transitioning from defense to offense and getting the ball out. Caden Boozer really has good awareness and court vision, and they just run the floor well. You know, that's something IMG, if they want to stay the #1 team, they need to be able to get back and play defense.
And pops. Jason Richardson watching as Jackson Richardson puts his team up 4.
Yeah, I have nightmares of that guy catching alley-oops. I mean, what a player he was at Michigan State. And, you know, talking about Michigan State here and all this talent, and Richardson, how in the world does Dusty May and Tom Izzo let Ronald Acuff Jr. get out of the state of Michigan? I mean, you just don't Darius Acuff. get out of the state of Michigan. You just don't see that happen too often.
Acuff transferring from Detroit's Cass Tech High School down to IMG, and then he'll go to the SEC, play for Arkansas.
How does that happen? If Tom Izzo has owned the city of Detroit, if I'm him, I'm flying in all the big guns to get him, and you just have to credit Calipari and his staff with doing a great job of recruiting him and showing him a pathway to what he wants to have happen in his career.
And we know Calipari can recruit. And it's picked away by Richardson. Cam Boozer back to Richardson for the alley-oop.
Yeah, their transition game and the speed of their transition is something. I mean, when we talk transition, everybody just thinks running up and down, but the actual transition comes from the defense to offense and multiple players on the team running to finish. IMG has to have better defense getting back. The first 3 steps when you're going from offense to defense are the most important, Sammy. You have to put your head down and get back quick and beat the ball back. It's just too easy for them.
They moved so quickly, operating in close quarters. No one at this level better. And Acuff leaves that one. Rebound Gaskins.
Well, they still have time, but you can't let Columbus just run the clock out here. Right now, if I'm Acuff, I'm going to really pressure Boozer here. Don't let him just wear it out. I mean, right now, these are 2 or 3 possessions he could wear out in 22 seconds left on the shot clock.
He'll get this under a minute and then some. They're just chewing clock. Cam Boozer at a minute. Spinning. Boozer off the glass. 8-point lead.
Yeah, IMG just doesn't have anyone who can stop him on offensive end.
Columbus has owned the home stretch. Acuff. Beamer a 3. And it goes. 5-point game.
Just the vision. I tell you what, I am such a big fan of this kid. And I think they just gave the points to the wrong people. There we go. Yeah, they flipped it back around. So, again, 43 seconds. This is 2-possession game here. We'll see if IMG decides to press. Whatever happens, they can't just let Columbus wear down the court at that level. I'm sorry, wear down the court at the time, the shot clock, to that level. They need to say, listen, guys, the most we want to give up is 12 seconds here. So if we're going to press, we're going to try and get a steal. As soon as the ball comes across half court, you're going to pressure up on the ball, try and get them to turn the corner and go to the basket where you can maybe force them to take an early shot or put them on the foul line.
It's this little 6-3 spurt for Columbus that's powered them ahead. This was a 2-point game at the 2-minute mark. And now Columbus foot on the gas.
Yeah, well, turnovers created easy opportunities and transition moments for Columbus, and they've done a great job of converting those opportunities.
23 points for Jackson Richardson, 19 for Cam Boozer, 16 for Caden Boozer. Oh, and here goes Cam on a free run. Leads up to 7 on a defensive breakdown, and there was a foul at the tail end.
So we didn't see it there, but I can tell you what happened is that Columbus just leaked Boozer out. Yeah, and, IMG critical error is they did not have anyone back protecting. So, even if you're going to pressure up and try and get a steal off of that to where you don't have anybody back, you have to have one person essentially be that center fielder, and heads-up play by Columbus.
Plus the free throw and the lead up to 8.
Yeah, this one's over, and Columbus has their transition game to thank for it.
Acuff in desperation, and we'll stay here. Well, in the end, it just feels like Acuff and who else?
I mean, they lost their rhythm and their purpose offensively in the second half. Who was the person that was going to do anything? Where was Sadiq White at? Just not much.
Oh, there he is, and he missed it. Boozer fouled him, though.
Yeah, but where's he been in the second half? If we look, 10 points. I think he might have had 10 points at half. So, you need your best players to be consistently stepping up.
Darius Acuff, meanwhile, 26 points. He has been sensational, but It's not a one-man game as White misses the free throw.
Yeah, and that's why I said, and this is no knock on IMG or their coaching staff or anyone, is like that's why I would have to right now, just from these games tonight, think that Montverde is the #1 team in the country, because if you shut Acuff down, nobody else has really stepped up in this fourth quarter. And I think Montverde just has the depth.
And a foul on White. Boozer will head to the stripe. So if Columbus does hold on for the final 30 seconds, they'll face Montverde tomorrow. Entering the weekend, Columbus ranked 3rd, Montverde 6th, and IMG, of course, 1st. So we'll see how that shakes up come Tuesday.
Well, let's see Boozer and Ingram tomorrow. I mean, that's going to be one heck of a matchup. Oh. Yeah.
What a battle down low. Duke-bound Boozer, Florida-bound Ingram. Comes on Monday night.
Boy,
we think.
Yeah, so Boozer's shot, he's consistently hitting the back of the rim, and he's got this really kind of low release or shooting pocket that he goes with. Does a good job of keeping the ball lateral on the side of his body, but he needs to bring it up just a little bit higher.
Misses both free throws, and we'll go to IMG. So really the last gasp now for IMG, which had a double overtime win a couple of nights ago, a 16-point comeback win yesterday, and now just out of gas, clearly. White.
Where's that been the fourth quarter? I just, where has that been the fourth quarter? Sometimes, player shows something like that at the end. Where has that level of aggression and competitiveness been? Maybe these guys are tired. I mean, again, how many games have they played in a row? How many minutes have they played in a row? But IMG Academy certainly missed that from Sadiq in the second half.
Yep. High 30s minutes for White and Acuff. Thursday night, Friday night, now it's Saturday. And the winners will get an off day tomorrow before Championship Monday, and it's looking awfully likely that we'll see Columbus and Montverde.
Well, they're going to need that day off tomorrow. And, again, the coaches that have been through this have the best systems. How do you get your team to recover? It's not just sitting in the hotel with your feet up. You have to get up, move around a little bit, get that lactic acid out of your muscles. Sometimes even like a little 10 to 15 minute lightweight lift can help those muscles recover. Make sure you eat well, get some good rest.
There's the plan.
That's all you need.
15 seconds. Coach Sparks giving it to us. And I think a timeout before the ball was passed in. So,
well, game's not over yet, is it? I mean, when you got talented players out on the floor, anything can happen.
Well, tomorrow also not just an off day. You have the three-point shootout, the slam dunk contest, and then on Monday night, it'll be the championship. Okay, back here in the broadcast booth. Hey, happy holidays to all of you. Appreciate you joining us. Chris, Sparks, Sam, Brief. So, Sparks, how about the Boozer twins? What's your assessment?
I mean, tough combination to deal with, right? I think we've seen Cameron be a little bit more active and effective throughout the course of the entire game. Caden stepped it up in the second half offensively with his transition game, finishing at the rim. I still want to see that defense from him. I still want to see him have that competitive edge that says, I'm not going to just do it on offense. I'm going to stop the other player on defense, which is what I think Cameron maybe has one up on him on the overall game.
The Boozers are incredible.
They're
but
ridiculous,
Jackson Richardson tonight, 23 points. You call him a slasher, and he looks just like his dad.
Yeah, I mean, level of talent like that and knowing your type of game, you don't see him trying to do too much. You don't see him trying to come off ball screens, do shake and bake. He knows who he is.
Peck looking to foul, and he just gets it on Gaskins.
Well, that's smart play. Good timing. They didn't waste too much time there. It's time to make some free throws and see what you can do.
Well, IMG pulled off a 16-point comeback last night, so I would never rule these guys out. It's Gaskins. Can't quite ice him.
So you got to have your plan in action right now, and this is something that you have to practice every day, maybe every other day. You have the last 15 minutes of practice of what are we doing in these scenarios. Okay, so we're down by 2 possessions. If he makes this or misses this, what's the play we're going to run as soon as they get possession of the ball here?
And he missed them both. So the window's open for Acuff and IMG. Acuff was hacked hard by Boozer. So they're just going to send Darius Acuff to the stripe. He can make it a 1-possession game.
I mean, again, you want to get the quickest look, and they did a good job of walling him up. And then I don't know why Boozer just reached for that all of a sudden to put the guy on the line, stop the clock, and turn this into a 1-possession game possibly.
Now lead down to 4. So they are weaseling their way back into this. Really can't think of any reason why you would just foul him there.
No, and right now IMG needs to know what press they're going to be in, who they want to isolate. Again, protect that long pass down to the other end.
And he misses the second. That was crucial. But Peck, huge rebound, then he stepped out.
It almost seemed a little bit like they intentionally missed that one. And the way they kind of flicked the ball out to the wing there was a possible opportunity. But they got to put Columbus back on the line here.
It's to Gaskins, who just missed 2. So you foul the cold shooter. Top-ranked junior Miles Gaskins.
I don't know what happened there. If Peck, he slapped at the ball, he could have easily grabbed it. You didn't have to have a 3 in that scenario.
So Caleb Gaskins, number 9 player in the junior class. Ready to roll at the line. Late game free throw execution has been off on both sides. And he hits a big one.
Well, he got the friendly roll that time. I think he thought he was going to miss that one.
White, Peck, both out.
Well, again, still 2-possession game, whether he makes or misses this. Have a play and plan to come down and get a quick hitter.
Second one's good. And no timeouts left for IMG, so 3-point or bust. No doubt, Acuff. The fall away, and that will do it. Columbus onto the championship. And on Monday night, a massive matchup. Montverde, Columbus.
Sammy, can we borrow your jet and fly down to Fort Myers? I mean, this is going to be one heck of a game on Monday. Just both, a lot of talent on that floor, as everybody knows, but both well coached. I mean, these are just fun games to watch.
Jackson Richardson, our player of the game. We saw him slash, slice, dice, jump, do it all for Columbus.
Just kind of a quiet 23 this evening, really effective doing what he does best, slashing to the rim, cleaning up, and just like his dad, running the fast break, getting out on the wing and finishing. We even saw him hit a couple threes. Really showed how well-rounded his game is, but he's going to make someone win a lot of games at the college level. Just a really tough player and fun to watch.
So our player of the game, not a Boozer, it's a Richardson. And Jackson, the junior, has helped lift his team to the City of Palms title game. And Monday night, Montverde meets Columbus for City of Palms glory. I think you fell in love tonight with Darius Acuff, but felt like a one-man team at times. Oh, that's cool, signing the camera.
It's like they do at the U.S. Open there. But, I think anyone that's a real fan of the game, a real student of the game, is going to look at Richardson and appreciate what he does and how he does it. Carries himself really well, plays the game the right way, plays both ends of the floor as well.
Yeah, he really does. And as a result of Columbus winning tonight, it goes Columbus, Montverde on Championship Monday. Give me one bone to chew on for that one.
I mean, it's going to be who plays defense. I mean, both these teams have not played a full 4 quarters of defense, so whoever steps it up and plays the full 4 quarters will come out the victor on Monday. It's going to be a heck of a game either way. This is a great tournament.
And Jackson Richardson is signing millions of autographs on his way back to the locker room. So final score of 77-71. Columbus takes down the number 1 team in the land, IMG. Well, that'll do it for the night. Montverde a win, Columbus a win, and we will talk to you on Monday night. Folks, we got a wonderful crew behind the scenes. Producer Ryan Kowalski, on the replay, Derek Eccles, and our graphics maestro, Sam Tenaglia. Alongside my partner, Chris Sparks, I'm Sam Brief, saying so longs from Fort Myers, where Columbus and Montverde are on to the championship.